Hey everyone, Cost Canadian here, back with another video, and the long-expected Mayhem 2.0 came out yesterday. It was built up to be an amazing addition to Borderlands 3's endgame, so you can bet that the moment it dropped, I got on and started farming for all the good, extra powerful loot. And I have to say, I have very mixed feelings about this new Mayhem 2.0. So I just wanted to make a quick little video to talk about my first impressions of Mayhem 2.0, as well as go over the 25 new modifiers that can be applied in Mayhem 2.0. So first off, I want to talk about the overall polish. While Mayhem 2.0 is fully functional and there isn't any crashing that I have found due to the new release, I feel that certain Mayhem modifiers are just poorly designed, feel sort of incomplete, or are buggy. I understand that bugs are common at this stage of development, but things like the death spawn from the very hard modifier, its hitbox is absolutely awful. The only area that it can seem to be hid in is its eyes, which makes a spawn that's already difficult to deal with artificially harder. And whether that's by design or a glitch, it's still something that I believe should be adjusted. Another modifier that I feel is poorly designed is the hard modifier Pool Party, which makes enemies drop fire, shock, and corrosive pools as their health, shield, and armor bars hit 0. While this isn't too horrible by itself, given that badasses are increasingly common as Mayhem level increases, and badasses most often have all 3 of those health bars, it can get very ridiculous in closed rooms with not much place to go, especially for characters with lower survivability like Moze and Flak. One final thing that bothers me about Mayhem 2.0 is that there's no way to see what Mayhem level you got your loot on. It feels really strange that there was no indicator to tell us if it was Mayhem 3 stats or Mayhem 10 stats. Okay, we've talked about the bad, so now let's talk about all the good. Mayhem 2.0 overall is very fun. The modifiers no longer feel like just another stat, and I love that now instead of there being objective best and worst modifiers to have, I feel that there will now be subjective preferred modifiers from person to person. I also can definitely appreciate the fact that modifiers can now be re-rolled and that Mayhem level can be changed on the spot without having to go all the way back to Sanctuary. I really do enjoy this new Mayhem mode, and if I'm being honest, I wrote the first half of this video less than an hour after finishing up my first session of Mayhem 2.0, so if it sounded a little ragey or ranty, that's because I got my butt kicked. Later that day, I was playing with my girlfriend on Mayhem 4, and once we got Mayhem 4 loot, I'm gonna be honest, Mayhem 4 has never been so easy. So the loot leveling up with the Mayhem level is an absolute blessing. It sort of feels like the overpowered levels in Borderlands 2, where you basically get Mayhem 4 loot, then use that loot to get Mayhem 6 loot, then use that Mayhem 6 loot to get Mayhem 8 loot, and then obviously use that Mayhem 8 loot to get Mayhem 10 loot. Overall, after taking some time to think about it, Mayhem 2.0 is actually super awesome and I'm glad it's been implemented. It is obviously going to be a bit of a challenge, but with some patience and the right approach to the new Mayhem levels, I believe that Mayhem 10 could potentially be less of a challenge than Mayhem 4 originally was. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up this video. I'm kinda short on time to get this video out, so I won't be verbally discussing the new modifiers, but I will have them scrolling through the screen at the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.